Hey there, podcasters. Thanks for choosing Movie Groove. If you're a regular listener, or even if you're a version of a groover, why not take a moment to like, subscribe, or even leave an encouraging comment. Every week, Movie Groove brings you news, reviews, and cheap shots at Michael Bay, all for a low, no price or nothing per download. So enjoy the show. Like, subscribe, and comment. It's a little shop that shows a little love.
Very good, Robbie.
I couldn't hear it.
Movie Groove, 7 to 9 Thursdays on Energy Groove Radio.
In the chair tonight is Brad Duence.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really well, actually. What about yourself?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay, good. Did you watch any movies over the week?
I did not.
You didn't
I'm
watch
afraid.
any movies?
No. Isn't that disgusting?
And you are aware that you work on a movie show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am aware of that now. Second week in.
You are very busy.
I'm a slow learner, Al. I'll get there.
You are very busy, though, I understand. You've got... Yeah?
I pretend to be busy.
You pretend to be busy.
Yeah,
Also,
I just walk around with a clipboard and people think I'm really busy.
That's just the excuse. You know, I couldn't possibly because I've got so much to do. Oh, that's that one sidelined. Glug, 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 glug. No, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I watched a movie.
What did you watch?
Not a new movie.
No.
I watched an old movie. I watched the original 1978 John Carpenter classic Halloween.
Ooh. Good time of the year for that, too.
Yeah, so Halloween's coming up. And I was watching the original movie, and wow, is it ever boring.
Oh, really?
No, well, there's a reason. It's because, you know how when you watch Star Wars for the first time, many young people sort of watch it and go, I just don't see what all the fuss is about. It's because, you know, this is the first time this was done. And so Halloween is the same. I've never actually seen it before. I've seen a bunch of horror movies. I was a big fan of the Friday the 13th movies when I was a kid, which were a direct rip-off of the Halloween movies.
Now, Halloween is not the one with Jason,
No.
is it? It is
So
the
Jason
one
is-
with Michael Myers.
That's right. Jason is the hockey mask, and Michael Myers is the William Shatner mask, painted white. True.
Is it actually called William Shatner?
No, it's they made it with next to no money, and so they just went to a shop where you get, I don't know, movie stuff or whatever. And this is even back before the series had been rebooted. And they got a William Shatner mask, cut the hair off it, and painted it white.
Hmm.
So, and yeah, scary as hell.
I wonder how Shatner feels about that. But it is scary. It's a scary mask.
I don't know how Shatner feels about it. I mean, he's the guy that seems to think that he invented NASA, so he probably thinks that he was the inspiration for the whole of the slasher flick genre as well.
So Halloween, that did not have Jamie Lee Curtis in it?
Yes, it did.
It did.
It did, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And the series got sillier and sillier as it went.
Yeah.
It had...
Because the first one that I became aware of when I was a child was Halloween H2O.
Yeah. So that was the reboot. Was it any good?
I don't believe so.
No. And it had
Pretty forgettable.
Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. I was actually quite surprised at how little he actually does. At the beginning, he goes like, Michael Myers is absolutely evil. There's no person left. Do you remember, did you ever see a really old sci-fi movie called The Fantastic Voyage?
No.
No. That's where they shrink a submarine full of brave people down to microscopic size and then put them inside the brain of a very important man to save his life. And one of them is a Russian spy.
Whoa.
And spoiler alert, it turns out to be Donald Pleasance.
Huh.
And all through the movie he keeps on going, we're all going to die, and then dives for an airlock. So, and yeah, he plays the heroic shrink Dr. Loomis, and all he does is tell us that he's evil, and then spends the rest of the movie just kind of walking around, looking for Michael Myers, and then shows up at the very end. Shoots him. So, sorry,
Sounds like
spoiler
a really
alert.
well-developed character.
Yeah, so anyway, it became a massive, massive hit back in the day. You watch it today and you go like, yeah, well, you've seen all this before, not in this movie, but other movies since. Anyway, enough of me prattling on about movies that were made in, oh God, how long ago is that now?
That franchise has been around for quite some time.
My maths is bad. 36
How
years.
silly did they go? They went Halloween H2O, that was a reboot. But did they have Halloween 2, 3?
So there was a Halloween 2 where he apparently I can't remember what happened to Halloween 2 because I haven't seen that either. And then Halloween 3 didn't even have Michael Myers in it. So everybody hated that. So they brought him back somehow, even despite the fact that he was blown up at the end of 2. Right. Sorry, massive spoilers here if you were ever thinking of going out and getting the Halloween series.
Well, that's what you have to expect, really, with Halloween. People see all these films and talk about them. Saw's coming back in the cinemas, I saw.
Is it?
Yeah, the original one.
Why?
The original. Because they had one every Halloween for a good 6 years or something.
The first one was good. They actually went to 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah. I lost count after 5, and I lost interest as well.
I used to like gore porn movies when I was a kid, but then, I grew up and I was watching stuff like Hostel and going like, this is just garbage.
No, yuck. I genuinely liked the first Saw film. I thought it was really quite interesting and well put together.
Yeah. I didn't get through it.
Didn't you?
Anyway. No, I just, I'm not really into this.
I just have a soft spot for it because it's written by a couple of Australians.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I was just kind of watching it and going like, I can see that nobody's leaving this room alive and I don't care. So.
But they do. Anyway.
We won't spoil the end of Saw for you if you haven't seen it yet. It is quite good if you like horror flicks. Check that one out. Anyway, getting back to the show, we always like to start each and every show with entertainment and movie news from all around the galaxy. This is the bit that we call Episode 24, A News Hope. Yes, and in box office news this week, thanks to Brad Pitt's Fury, Ben Affleck is gone, girl. You see what I did there?
Oh, God.
Thank you. So, I think that deserves a... There it is. Yeah, everyone's a critic. Even the insects are against me. The World War II epic has taken the top spot from David Fincher's psycho thriller this last weekend with a 23.7 million take in the US box office, which puts it on par with other boys' own adventures such as Act of Valor, Captain Phillips, and Monuments Men. Do you watch war films?
No, on and off. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah. Monuments Men was one of those films where you look at the trailer and you think to yourself, yeah, I think I see what's coming on. No, whatever. Also, last weekend, The Book of Life opened to a reasonable 17 mil, which puts it neck on neck with last month's animated Box Trolls. With a mostly female audience, only 30% Hispanics, though, which seems quite low. I don't know, maybe it was the all-you-can-eat churros thing.
Yeah. Maybe they saw through all of that.
Yeah, so that looks like it's going to be...
Like, oh, they're targeting us.
Just a massive grab bag of cliches. I think I'll avoid that. Note to Hollywood white people, Mexicans do not live exclusively on the crap you get at Taco Bell. So, I hear they like burgers, just every now and again.
Why don't we have both?
That's a quick shout out to a popular brand of taco shell there. Also last weekend at the cinemas, The Best of Me. Remember we were talking about that one?
No.
It was the gooey love story.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, I just shut that out of my mind.
Yeah, no. So The Best of Me turned out to be the worst of Nicholas Sparks' cinematic seat wetters. With a take of only 10 million, it's the lowest opening for his peculiar brand of nice white people in love crapola. But
what a strange time of year to launch that kind of film, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Save it for Valentine's, and at least you've got a chance of raking in some dollars.
They've probably got something not as strong slated for Valentine's, instead of thinking like the name Nicholas Sparks, well, from the maker of The Notebook, that kind of thing. So people will just run in to see it. Nah, not this time.
All these single ladies.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's the kind of guy I want. Completely devoted to me no matter what. That's called a stalker, ladies. All right? That's not the kind of guy
Doesn't everyone
you're
want a
for.
Stalker?
Yeah, that's what you want. A guy that will stand outside your window all hours of the night, quietly masturbating into a sock. I'm terribly sorry about that, listeners. Anyway, the big winner this last weekend was Birdman. We didn't talk about this one last week, did we?
No, I don't.
No,
this is the first I've heard of Birdman.
But I do have a clip.
How did we end up here? This place is horrible. Smells like balls. We had it all. You were a movie star, remember?
Who was this guy? He used to be Birdman.
I like that poster.
You wrote this adaptation?
I did, yeah.
And you're directing and starring in your adaptation. That's ambitious.
Are you afraid people will say you're doing this play to battle the impression that you're a washed-up comic strip character?
Absolutely not. That's why 20 years ago I said no to Birdman 4.
Birdman 4? You do Birdman 4? Now you're about to destroy what's left of your career.
Yes, so in Birdman, Michael Keaton is acting for once. Not doing the cameo. He's the main character in a movie where he plays an actor who had a very famous role with a superhero way back when, and now he's trying to revive his career. Okay. And the movie's about how that goes. And apparently it's quite good. In fact, it took just shy of $425,000 in only 4 theaters in New York and LA. So that's a per theater average that puts it at number 18 best opener of all time.
Oh, wow.
And also 8th live action movie of all time. Okay. Just as from a per theater average, that's not gross wise. So,
right.
That looks like it's going to be a big hit. It's the second biggest one this year. The last one was the Grand Budapest Hotel, which was really good. I went to see that one.
Was it good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Terrific. It's Wes Anderson. Is it Wes Anderson? I'm trying to think of one of the Weses.
It's not. It can't be. Isn't Wes Anderson the Resident Evil guy?
No, you're thinking of Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh.
You know, big difference in style there. Big difference. Anyway, Fox Searchlight will be expanding its distribution of the film to 40 or 50 theaters next week, hoping that it will be more accessible than other recent early performers that stumbled on the first turn in the Hollywood with its head up its own arse genre. Because I'm an old man, you see, and the screen's quite far away. The letters are very small. So, yes, Yellow Flicker Beat there by Lord. A very talented young lady from New Zealand, I believe. Welcome back to Energy Groove Radio, if you were getting confused there. The show you're listening to is called Movie Groove. It's what's on screen. We're transmitting live from the beautiful city of Sydney and all around the world. My name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the delectable Brad Duence.
Oh, delectable.
And, we were doing a News Hope before, and we're still going. I'm afraid so. Next in a News Hope, Renee Zellweger. She's got a silly name.
That's great.
She's
Renee
got Renee Zellweger.
You didn't even hit half the letters.
I just missed out the middle part because that's not a real name. That can't be a real name. I'll just snap it up. Make it tighter, I think. I'm a professional. This is what I do. Renee Zellweger has been body snatched, apparently. Yeah.
Arzegger.
Arzeg.
Yes. What's happening with
what's happening with Arzeg? I hope that catches on. That's great. She's in the news. Recent photos of the actress, published on fishwrapper.com, have revealed the Oscar-winning actress has...
That sounds like a legitimate source.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's the research that I do for this show. You have no idea. She's either been the victim of a substandard plastic surgery job or replaced by another person entirely. Look, now, so I've got the photo here. This will be up on the Facebook page if you look. That's Movie Groove on Facebook. Look it up.
She does look different.
She looks so little like herself. She couldn't get a job as her own stunt double. It's weird.
It's just a different hairstyle and slightly weird eyebrows.
Yeah, here's a question. Right, so her eyes are bigger. That's something to do with plastic surgery. Yeah. Why is her nose also bigger?
Okay, her nose does look a bit different.
Her nose looks bigger. Who does that? Who gets a nose job to make it
Arzeg.
Bigger?
Like, come on.
She's crazy.
She's always changing herself.
She looks nothing like herself. She's doomed. I remember...
Yeah, but what does Arzeg... What does she look like? Because she's always had a bit of surgery done.
No. That's like the picture there. That shows her
surgery
she was.
in the before shot.
Yeah, well, she's gone to a different surgeon
and
because
then
this guy...
she put on weight to be Bridget Jones. She's taken off weight. She's constantly changing her body. But anyway, it's a stupid story, and I don't know why it's in the headlines.
Yeah, no, look, I'm an illustrator. When I'm drawing a picture of somebody's face, especially somebody famous, I have a picture of that person next to me so that, I know what they look like. I'm assuming that plastic surgeons normally do that as well. This guy seems to have had a picture of
Someone else.
Someone else.
Look, it does. She does look like a different person. But if you said, "Oh, that's Renee Zellweger," I would have been like, "Huh." You can still tell it's kind of Renee.
No, I'm sorry, that's not Renee Zellweger. That's a picture of Charlize Theron from Monster.
That's a bit hard.
Look at her. She
doesn't look bad. She just looks different.
I've gotten so bitchy. I should, me and Perez Hilton, we're like that.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, look at her. It's so tacky. Oh, gracious.
Now you've insulted Perez.
The most annoying and punchable man in Hollywood.
I think it's sad that we have to have this conversation. Because it says a lot about the expectations of what society expects actresses to look like.
No, it's not society. It's a job. You have an image to uphold. You have a certain way that you look, and if you alter that look, even if you're still very attractive, it might bugger up your career. Take who's the girl from Dirty Dancing? What was her name? Jennifer. The girl from Dirty Dancing.
What?
The girl from Dirty Dancing is what was her name? Jennifer something. I'm having a complete brain fart on that one, I'm afraid. She got a nose job.
Baby in the corner.
Yeah, the baby who was in the corner, that girl, Jennifer something or other. Not Lawrence.
There's about 50 people screaming at the radio right now.
Yeah, so hit us up on the Facebook page if you know what the girl's name was. She was also in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So after doing those two movies, she was suddenly a big, big star, but there was an awful lot of very cruel jokes about her nose. Mm-hmm. I remember Mad Magazine saying, it was in the Mad version of...
Is that...
Yeah,
I
know.
Mad?
It used
what
to be
era are you from?
It used to be a thing. When I was a kid, it was massive. Nobody didn't read Mad.
That guy on the front creeped me out. I never read it.
Yeah. So the Mad version went like, hey, do you know who I am? And the reply was, well, judging by that nose, you look like Barbra Streisand's love child. And I think she took that to heart. She got herself a nose job, and it basically destroyed the part of her face that gave her a unique look. Mm. So after that, she just looked like generic person.
Her main character.
Never got any work after that ever.
Which I think it's like, yes, you have a brand.
Yeah.
But I would be more inclined to judge you on your acting ability and how you can portray a character as opposed to what you look like.
You need to look like yourself. Like so she previously showcased a new face back in April. All right, those photos are widely publicized that look so little like her former button-cute self that claims that it wasn't her at all seemed entirely plausible.
I think it's stupid for someone to say that you need to look a certain way.
Yeah, okay. After having more work done, there are more Cameron Diaz action figures from Charlie's Angels who look more like Bridget Jones than Renee Zellweger does now.
Why are we expecting Renee Zellweger to look like Bridget Jones anyway?
Because you have an image. I'm on radio, you're on radio, nobody gives a damn what we look like. I'm an incredibly fat man with boils all over me and a neck beard. And, this thing...
But I look past that.
Yeah. So, it's about the beauty inside.
It takes a lot of time, but you do look past it eventually.
Anyway,
I think people should just harden up and be like, deal with it. She's having surgery to do, for whatever reasons. Who knows why she's doing the surgery?
In a perfect world, that would happen. But in this one, her career's knackered.
It is not. She has a movie coming out.
Yeah.
And isn't there talk of Bridget Jones 3?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, so, and like, my God, Bridget, what's happened to your face? I was in a car accident.
They can fix that in post.
I was in a terrible car accident. My face, a monkey ripped my face off, and it was entirely replaced by the face of a dead woman.
They're all good, plausible things that you can weave into the story.
It shit writes itself.
Really
excuse me, I dropped the S-bomb. Pardon me. Anyway, in other celebrity news, Arse Gravy Dispenser TMZ reports that Tyrese Gibson sucks.
Who?
Tyrese Gibson. That's not news, I hear you cry, and you'd be right.
Say the name again?
Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese?
Nope, still never heard of him.
An alleged comedian, Spanky Hayes. No, I've never heard of him either. Has raised Tyrese's hackles a bit by claiming that the star of the Transformers and Fast and Furious franchises, that's why you don't know who he is. He was a Marine.
What are you insinuating?
Because you didn't watch any of that garbage, did you?
No.
Fast and Furious is, no, they're, anyway, they're for 12-year-olds, those movies. So, and 12-year-old boys out there.
Prepubescent 12-year-olds.
They know who he is. He claims that the star of those franchises, Tyrese Gibson, won a role over him in director John Singleton's 2001 film Baby Boy by performing sexual favors for the director. It happens in Hollywood all the time. You know, it's a dirty job.
And what, is he jealous? I've never heard of that movie.
Well,
is he really so upset that he didn't get a role in a movie that no one's ever heard of?
it's a mystery that it's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. We never know what's up. But in any
case, it's a film
case,
called Baby Boy. Like,
true.
As if you're not going to be
Snoop
putting
was in
out
it.
at some point.
Snoop was in it. It was written for Tupac, and then he got shot.
Right.
So, or at least that's what Tyrese is claiming. He said it was a factual fact. If you want to watch this, because I have a clip here. Tyrese has hit back at the comments in a video response in which he addresses Hayes personally and publicly while wandering around his LA homestead wearing a fur coat and smoking a big Cuban stogie. And here's that. And here's that clip now, or a bit of it.
I don't know who you are, so let me go ahead and look at your sizzle reel and all of the stuff that you've been able to accomplish in your career. It don't exist, bitch! Get out the way, man. Some dumbass going on out here. That was some dumbass
I'm really confused about that clip.
You sure showed him. So, yeah.
So, did he edit that himself with the backing music?
There's a full 7 minutes of that. That's just a little 30-second taste of it. He goes on to publicly inform Hayes that he will be using his influence.
Was that just a video he made?
Yeah, he literally made that in response.
People?
He edited it. He put backing tracks on it. He used, music that was suited to the...
God.
It was all timed
so lame.
Somebody else shot it for him. It's not like a selfie. He's wandering around and somebody's following him with a handheld digital.
Get alive.
Well, he's upset about this whole sexual favors thing. And we don't have to use our imaginations to
Like, what? Who cares?
Not I, but Tyreese in the clip goes on to publicly inform Hayes that he will be using his influence to make sure that the comedian's career goes no further. Well, in a Movie Groove exclusive, we contacted the president of Hollywood himself, Mr. Quentin J. Thornhubble Jr.
Who?
Mr. Quentin J. Thornhubble Jr., the president of Hollywood, to ask for...
That's not a real job, is it?
Shush. To ask for his reaction... You're ruining the bit. To ask for his reaction on this explosive, star-studded feud. Mr. Thornhubble, as the president of Hollywood, how seriously are the Hollywood establishment taking Mr. Gibson's threat to destroy the career of comedian Spanky Hayes by bringing his considerable power and influence to bear? Mr. Thornhubble? Mr. Thorn...
Oh, I think we lost him, Al.
Thanks for your time. Well, the Hollywood establishment there just a very visceral reaction, I would say.
Say they're up in arms.
They certainly are. Anyway, that's it for a news.
What was his name again? President of Hollywood.
Listen back. You'll just have to download the podcast and listen back to it to find out that person's name. If you'd like to contact the president of Hollywood, why don't you check out my channel on YouTube? It's simply Alister Lockhart. Spell it correctly. And look at all the many, many podcasts that we have available for you to listen to if you've missed movie news in the past. That's it for A News Hope this week. And remember, when it comes to movie news, this source will be with you, always. My name is Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the astonishing Brad Duence.
Gets better every time.
It certainly does. So before the break, we were doing news, and every week, moving right along with the show, because I don't like to pause and rest on my laurels.
I've noticed.
Yeah. Every week I like to remind the listeners, that's you people out there, I love you more than you know, that my favourite bit of the Oscars is the In Memoriam segment. Why? Because I'm strange. But why wait until March when we can enjoy death every week in a bit we call Dead for Reals?
Behind the clouds, The sun is shining. There's a big blue sky waiting right behind the clouds.
Well, you're dead now, so shut up.
Ah, lovely.
Who's dead this week?
And dead for reals this week, Brad. We have wrestling legend Ox Baker.
Can't it be someone I know?
Well, okay, so friends and family of Brad, if you could contact all of the Hollywood stars that he knows right now and get them to die, that would really help us out here on the show. And anyway, this week we've got wrestling legend Ox Baker, who famously battled Kurt Russell in Escape from New York, has died. Now, Baker was awesome, it says here. He wrestled with everyone from Hulk Hogan, you know who he is,
Yes.
to Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and even had a rivalry with Macho Man Randy Savage. These are all very big names in the 80s.
Okay.
The Wrestling Federation was, I don't know, it was massive for some reason. It was on Thursday nights. And it was just really stupid, large, slippery men thumping into each other. So there was a certain kind of appeal for all kinds of folks. Anyway.
Isn't it all staged?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But it does, it requires a great deal of physical fitness, and it is very, very rough. They do get hurt out there, but yes, it is all rehearsed. But, if you're not ready for it, then you're going to get hurt. So, but anyway, the fans don't seem to mind at all. Now, if you don't recognize any of these names, then you're probably somewhere below the age of 80. But there he is. There's a picture of him right there. We'll put that up on the Facebook page. That's Movie Groove on Facebook.
He looks like a wrestler.
After he retired from wrestling, Baker got into acting, landing the role of Slag in the famous gladiator-style fight scene in the 1981 classic Escape from New York. I know that movie well, and boy, was he ever in that movie. It's an old movie, and it's one of John Carpenter's early ones, so the action scenes are a bit clunky. It's a good film.
Okay.
For the budget, which was almost nothing. The only reason it looks real is because they filmed it in St. Louis, because they had a major fire there.
Yeah.
So they went, well, we'll just come and film in St. Louis because the place already looks like it's been wrecked by a post-apocalyptic nightmare. And it works great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it doesn't look anything like New York. Anyway, Ox Baker was 80 years old, and he's down for the count. And we also have Misty Upham.
Well, dead.
Yes.
Who?
Misty Upham.
Upham.
Don't. Misty Upham. This is very sad. We're being sad now. I'm going to put on my sad voice. Misty Upham was in Montana.
It's just her name.
Misty. It might be Eupham.
Why did it have to be Misty before? Upham.
Stop laughing. This is very sad. She was born in Montana and raised in Washington. She was a Native American and a member of the Blackfoot tribe. Her film credits include Expiration Date, Edge of America, Skins, Skinwalkers, and in 2010 she appeared on HBO's Big Love, which was the Bill Paxton thing where he had 3 wives. Yeah. In 2013, she played a major supporting role in Arnaud Desplechin's Jimmy P. Psychotherapy of a Plains Indian, which was selected at Cannes. And she played housekeeper Joanna in August Osage County and starred in Cake with Jennifer Aniston. Misty went missing on the 5th of October.
Oh, she went missing.
Yeah, her body was found at the foot of a ravine on the reservation where she lived.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
Yeah. Her handbag and shoes were found at the spot she is thought to have fallen from.
Oh.
And thusly, police have not ruled out suicide, although Misty's family insist that it could only have been an accident. So
she fell...
Oh, it just fell down the side of a ravine.
Yeah.
So
how old was she?
Well, she was only 32 years old, so it's very, very sad. Anyway, she's dancing with her ancestors now. Our thoughts go out to her family. And also very sad this week, and you might have heard about this one. Actress Elizabeth Pena has died.
Well, dead.
Yes. No?
Oh, no, well, again, I don't know.
Again, you don't know who this is.
I'm sorry.
Wow, I really need to get a broadcast partner who's actually seen a film.
I try and sound informative, but there's only so much. Oh, right, that I can do.
I know exactly. Yes. Oh, I see. You're right.
I heard about that.
Yes. Tell me more.
See, this is how I catch up on the news. People just say, "Did you hear about that?" And I go, "Oh, isn't that sad or terrible?" And then they tell me the story anyway, and I get my news.
That's right. You just said, that's right. That's right. She did. No, she didn't. I know. Anyway, Elizabeth Pena died. Latino Review reports that actress Elizabeth Pena has passed away with a professional career spanning nearly 40 years. She died October 14th in Los Angeles, in the hospital. She had recently wrapped work on the first season of the TV series Matador, where she played the title character's mother, Maritza. Elizabeth was born in New Jersey to Cubano immigrants, and as a teen she began making a name for herself in New York in the theater scene. She began her professional film career in 1978 with El Super, and by the end of the 1980s she had a resume that included La Bamba, Down and Out in Beverly Hills, Batteries Not Included, and Blue Steel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she even did something that was almost unheard of for a Latina actress. She had her own primetime ABC series called I Married Dora, which was kind of a green card thing. But before green card, if that makes sense.
Okay. Right. Just skim over that one.
Yes, so she kicked off remember Green Card? It was a movie about a guy who's French and he needs a green card, so he comes to America and he gets married to Annie McDowell so that he can get his green card. And then, of course, they develop feelings for one another. And then they did it again as a television series that didn't work with Billy Connolly.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He was terrible in it. It was awful. And I'm a big Billy Connolly fan.
Yeah, right.
It was brilliant. I know it was brilliant. He's the nicest guy, and it's brilliant. Anyway.
You do that too.
I know.
Sluggies,
I know. It's brilliant. He's the nicest guy.
He was in Sydney last weekend.
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see him?
No, I didn't.
My housemate was going to go see him, and yeah, she ended up not because a dog ran away.
Is he still working? Because he's got Parkies now.
Yeah, he must be.
He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and colon cancer on the same week, which must have been a bit of a rough week.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but he's still working, so that's brilliant. I've seen him.
Well, I mean, he's still obviously performing. I don't know whether he's like.
I've seen him live a few times. The best time was definitely the first time I saw him in Newcastle in 1990, and thought I was going to die. My stomach was just a steel ball because I couldn't stop laughing. Anyway, back to Elizabeth. She kicked off the 90s opposite Tim Robbins in the freaky mind trip Jacob's Ladder.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I have seen some of her work.
That was messed up. I've got a photo here.
Well, that inspired the game Silent Hill.
Yeah, and I've got a photo over here from, back when she was in that movie. She was the hotness, no? This is the scene where he's watching her and she's on the dance floor in a very smoky nightclub dancing with this horrible kind of alien-esque thing, and this is the point, right where they're being very good friends on the dance floor. And I really can't talk about what happens
sort of
next.
Interspatial.
So yeah,
galactic.
So if you're of a mind to freak yourself right out because you won't need drugs, get a copy of Jacob's Ladder and watch that. It's fun. She continued her string of notable films with roles in Lone Star, Rush Hour, and Free Willy 2, as well as doing regular work on TV. And after the turn of the century, she starred in Tortilla Soup, How the Garcia Girls Spent Their Summer, Nothing Like the Holidays, and Showtime's Resurrection Boulevard. And then she started doing voice work and worked as a director. She did some TV stuff as a director. And then folks lent her voice to the Pixar hit The Incredibles as Syndrome's hero groupie assistant, Mirage. And here's a little clip of that.
There isn't much time.
No, there isn't. In fact, there's no time at all.
Please.
Why are you here? How can you possibly bring me lower? What more can you take away from me?
Family survived the crash. They're here on the island.
They're alive? Helen?
Hello. You must be Mr. Sing.
She was helping me to escape.
No, that's what I was doing.
That is a great movie.
She has quite a youthful voice, doesn't she?
Oh, she's lovely. I did actually watch, I'm sorry about this, folks, Rush Hour a couple of times. And she was in that. She played super hot female bomb disposal expert. She's great. She was great in everything she did. And she's died at the very young age of 55.
Yeah, that is young.
Yeah, so she's survived by her husband, Hans, her 2 teenage children, Fiona and Kaelin, and her mother, Estella, and her sister, Tanya. Elizabeth Pena was 55, and we miss her already. That's all for this week. It's curtains once again on Dead for Reals, and we'll see you on the other side. Anyway, welcome back to Energy Groove Radio. The show you're listening to is called Movie Groove, transmitting live from the beautiful city of Sydney and all around the world. My name is Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is Brad Duence.
No.
No adjective?
I've come to expect it now.
Where's my adjective, says Brad. The delectable Brad Duence.
You've used that one.
Oh, have I done
special
that?
The second time.
There's only so many adjectives.
Well,
This
get
isn't
a
scripted.
thesaurus.
This isn't scripted. I just pull these things fresh and steaming from my butt. There was a vivid image. I'm very sorry about that. Anyway, next on the show, we've got a segment where we have a look at what's opening in theatres in Australia and all around the world. This is a bit we call opening scene. Again, apologies for that noise.
Every time I hear it, I imagine that she's in the bathroom, and then someone opens the door and punches her.
No, the door is, the idea is that forget about it. She punches somebody.
Oh, I see.
Somebody opens the door and she goes, ah, and then punches said person.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So you see why it's bad? It's just it's unclear what opening is. So opening scene, because I was thinking, what can I do that's a door? A door opens.
A door opening.
A door opening. How about that? Now what else have I got? Oh, there's no. I really have to do something about that. Anyway, 23 blast. When a high school football star is suddenly stricken with total blindness, he must decide whether to live a safe, handicapped life or bravely return to the life he once knew and the sport he still loves. And we've got a clip.
Whoa. There's a great deal of infection. We need to get him into surgery quickly.
Travis.
You're blind, son.
Travis, how you doing?
Hey, Coach.
You got a funny look in your eye. Travis, I never coached a boy who loves football as much as you. I'm thinking you should come back on the team.
They can't catch the ball.
So you're gonna have to play center. You're not a gazelle anymore. You're a pit bull. It's gonna be a long season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's starring Mark Hapka.
Okay.
A TV actor formerly of Days of Our Lives and Nothing Else You Saw. And Bram Hoover, whose name makes him sound like an undead vacuum cleaner.
That could be a semi-interesting film, but it sounds like it's just going to be quite predictable.
Yeah, well, Bram Hoover, whose breakout role as Hunky Guy in 90210 has made him the household name he is today at his house. That's opening all across the United States today. It must be a slow weekend. That's usually a straight-to-video thing, but there you go.
Yeah, usually you'd find those kind of movies just popping up on those, feel-good Christian
Lifetime
TV channels.
Yeah. Oh, he's blind, but he's playing football.
Yeah.
Based on a not true story. We also have John Wick.
John Wick?
John Wick.
John Wick.
A movie that at first glance seems like yet another action movie where the bad guys kill / maim / kidnap the wife and or child of a retired black ops specialist who's the best of the best.
Taken.
Who comes out of retirement to bring bullet-laden retribution to bear. But this one is different. John Wick is a retired hitman who's the best of the best, but must come out of retirement to bring bullet-laden retribution to bear because the bad guys kill his dog. Big difference.
Wow.
I know, right? They've really gone... It's
come out of retirement.
It's right out of left field, this one. Ooh. Here's a clip.
I lost everything. That dog was a final gift from my dying wife.
Killed my dog.
Jonathan, you got out once. You dip so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may find something reaching out to pull you back in.
It's personal.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Nobody?
That nobody is John Wick.
You know what? I think that I would actually care more about that story than I would with a story of a kidnapped daughter or wife.
Well, because it's a dog.
Yep.
But the dog's dead. It's not like a dog got kidnapped.
It's like you have to get revenge. It's a dog.
He's
you
not
don't kill pets.
He's not getting the dog back. Like, you're one of those people that only gives money to homeless guys who've got dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a guy with a rat as well.
What a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get got a dog. I'll give him some money for the dog.
And the guy with the rat, he's gotten a few bucks from me a few times.
They're not real dogs. They get fake dogs on purpose. They rent them.
What do you mean fake dogs?
Yeah, it's animatronic.
Ah.
Homeless people have animatronic dogs. This is true. Andrew Bolt said it on his TV show. You know Andrew Bolt's TV show. It's called Arbeit macht frei. So that's a World War II reference for the history buffs out there.
Over my head. I don't believe you.
Okay. He's a thinker. He's a thinker, this one.
But the thing is, I'd have to sit through the inevitable scene of a dog being killed.
Well, I'll just watch it up to the point where the dog gets killed. Well, I suppose
at the first 10 minutes.
You need closure. You have to sit through the blood-soaked vengeance.
Watch the asshole die who killed a dog.
That's true. Well,
That's what I would have to do.
Have you been watching Game of Thrones?
No.
No, so
No.
it's one of the arseholes from Game of Thrones that does the killing of the dog. So it'll be fun to watch him die.
Okay.
Because he hasn't died on Game of Thrones yet.
Hasn't he?
No. I mean, he's on the list. Shit, could be anybody next. Let's face it. Anyway, starring Keanu Reeves as a titular anti-hero. You didn't recognize the voice? My dog died. Whoa. Oh.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa, my dog died. Oh.
Ruined it for me.
Sorry. So he's the titular anti-hero who expresses his rage through blood-soaked violence because, let's face it, he won't be expressing any kind of emotion with his face. And also opening in the States this weekend is Ouija. A new movie from Styles White, the special effects technician who gave us the screenplay for Knowing. So now you know. So, no, he's a writer.
Is he now?
Yeah. So, in Ouija, so based on the Ouija board.
Yes.
You know what a Ouija board is, yeah. So
I can see where this is going.
in the 1970s, it was basically a popular game. Like Parker Brothers own the Ouija board.
Huh.
Right. If you license,
It's like Fisher Price Ouija.
yes, if you produce and market a Ouija board, you have to pay royalties to Parker Brothers.
Kind of like the guy that owns the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, and then they used one, I think, in The Exorcist, or it was, or some famous Hollywood movie from the 70s where they used it to contact the dead, and Christians everywhere went like, those things are satanic, and suddenly it wasn't that popular a game anymore. So it's all based on the idiomotor effect,
Okay.
which is just kind of an automatic movement that kind of happens unconsciously. That's what makes it sort of move around. But of course, because it's sort of weird and creepy, people go like, well, then there's spirits talking through them.
Well, it is. It's creepy. It's kind of like that thing where it's like you say someone's name in a mirror 3 times.
Yeah, but again, it's creepy.
It's
but
like you don't do it.
It's something you do for a laugh. It's not like, okay. So here's a joke. How do you know for sure if your house is haunted?
Get a Ouija board.
It isn't. Grow up. In Ouija, which apparently is based on the etymology of which comes from the French and German words for yes. Oui and ja. Directed by White and written by him as well, a group of friends must confront their most terrifying fears when they awaken the dark powers of an ancient spirit board that didn't exist before 1890. The movie...
So it's kind of like Jumanji.
Yeah, they didn't exist before 1890, so it can't be that ancient. The movie stars, Olivia Cooke, who is best known for her role as Emma Ducody in the TV series Bates Motel, an intelligent girl with cystic fibrosis who's developed a crush on Norman Bates. So her nickname ain't Lucky. Starring a list of other people who don't even nearly qualify as stars, Ouija promises to be at least 90 minutes long. What's your most terrifying fear, Brad?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a Ouija board or effects from a Ouija board.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. So he's a rational
flying
man.
would be one of them.
Flying?
You just call me rational.
Rational. So, no, that's a rational fear.
Flying is horrible.
Yeah.
It is, like, it's not only an unpleasant experience because you have to be crammed in a tin tube with a bunch of people with screaming children and too much luggage.
It is very uncomfortable. It forms the basis of at least one routine in every single stand-up comedy.
But other than that,
exists.
It's terrifying. You are hurtling in a missile down a runway and then being lifted off the ground.
It's not the speed that kills you, it's a stop. It's called deceleration trauma.
It's called dying in a fiery ball.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Humans aren't meant to fly.
He was
And I
allergic-
just find it incredibly unsettling being that high, going that fast. I don't like it.
Man, I don't get on a plane before I'm that high. Until I'm that high, I should say. Yeah, just take some Advil and you'll be fine. But anyway.
It's an Advil, cold and flu. Anyway.
Yes.
No, I don't like flying. I do get a bit like spooked watching a scary movie, and then I'll be like spooked for a few hours after, like in my room. I'll have to have the light on or something stupid. So I guess that's an irrational fear.
Yeah, well, there you go. My most terrifying fear is that my wife will one day look at my browser history.
Right.
This show is called Movie Groove. It's what's on screen. We're transmitting live from the city of Sydney, all around the world. My name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the inimitable Brad Duence.
See, I don't know what that one means. Inevitable?
Inimitable.
Oh, inimitable.
Inimitable. You know what that one means. It means you can't be imitated. Hi, this is Brad Duence. Welcome to Energy Groove Radio. See, I could do your show for you.
Well,
So-
that just made that compliment redundant.
Is that a bit too fey? Coming at you next.
You're an ass.
I know. I know. And a damn good looking one, too. Anyway, this week we're doing a new segment on Movie Groove. You
Look
lucky
out.
people. Oh, yeah, where we take a look at what's opening in cinemas locally. Yes. To hell with the rest of the world. Let's have a gander at the wide brown screen. Hey, I got a snort. You see what I did there? That's comedy gold. Oh, we've lost Brad. Oh boy. Okay.
You're gonna have to go on that.
All right, getting it under control. First of all, come on, this isn't funny. We've got a movie about cancer.
I'm sorry. It's just anything with a fart.
I know. It's one of those immutable laws of comedy. Farts are funny.
I'm crying.
Oh boy. Anyway, first of all, on the wide brown screen this week, Decoding Annie Parker is a movie that IMDb describes thusly: love, science, sex, infidelity, disease, and comedy. The wild, mostly true story of the irrepressible Annie Parker and the almost discovery of a cure for cancer. It's a cure for that term annoys me because scientifically it's absolutely as meaningless as the phrase "a cure for virus." You know, cancer is a very complex thing. You're never going to find a cure
so
for
many
cancer.
different kinds of cancer as well.
There is rather. Anyway,
so is this an Australian production or is this not?
No, this is just what's opening
coming
in
out
Australia. Well, because we do have Australian listeners, and they need to know what's what's opening in the States. Oh, good. Anything on here? And we do have to wait quite a long time for some of the
migrate over
movies.
here.
Well, some of them open on the same day, but others, I think, because
Actually, some are early as well. Some of them we get first, and US gets 2 days later.
very occasionally that happened with Captain America: Winter Soldier. I will never understand why. I think it's just because if I don't know, something to do with the Asia-Pacific region and marketing and blah.
Time zones.
Who knows?
But yeah, okay, so that, yeah, all right.
So I've got a clip of that as well.
Oh.
And here it is.
Dr. King, you believe that there may be a genetic link to some breast cancers, even though virtually no one else believes this to be true?
That's correct. He didn't like me, did he?
He compared you to an animated grasshopper.
Well, that's sort of charming in a way.
I'm sorry, Anne, but you have carcinoma of the left breast.
Phew. I thought it was going to be really bad news. Have you guys heard of Mary Claire King?
She is doing some very interesting work.
We have a proposition that certain breast cancers are inherited. No one else believes this.
Yeah.
I love how it started with the quintessential medical music.
Yep, it's a feel-good movie about feeling bad. It stars Samantha Morton going through the trauma of pretending to go through the trauma of breast cancer.
Now, which one's Samantha Morton?
She's been in a bunch of things. She was... Did you ever see Minority Report?
Yes.
So she was the psychic girl that Tommy Cruise is dragging from post to post.
Oh, okay.
And she's an exceptional actress, although she's very serious on set. She's not easy to get along with. Doesn't come to work to make friends.
Well,
she's a bitch.
That's good.
So
She's
anyway,
there to do a job.
and we also have Helen Hunt as crusading doctor, and Aaron
Where
Paul.
has she been?
She's
the last movie I saw Helen Hunt in was it what, Twister?
yeah. She's
Wait, was that even Helen Hunt?
She's emerged from the hell of your 40s. When you're a woman in Hollywood in your 40s, you either get facial surgery so you can continue to get work, or you just leave it until you're about 50, and then you start to get roles as, well, a doctor, as an example. School teacher, and then eventually grandma.
Yeah.
And Aaron Paul is that guy from Breaking Bad.
Oh, God.
Again. Also, it's going to be a while before he shakes that. Anyway, also opening locally, Living is Easy with Eyes Closed. Makes sense to me! Yeah. Or Vivir es fácil con los ojos cerrados.
No subtitles.
I hope I pronounced that properly. A Spanish movie set in 1960, when Spain still languished under the dictatorship of Generalissimo Francisco Franco. It's the kind of repressive Catholic fascist fever dream that we'll all be living under just as soon as Tony Abbott announces the dawn of Reich 4.0.
Yay.
A road trip movie about a school teacher hoping to meet his idol John Lennon in person. It's a subtitled film with the Beatlemania soundtrack, so that's 2 reasons not to bother seeing it. I like the Beatles. I don't love the Beatles.
I actually don't like the Beatles.
Right. So you never saw Across the Universe then?
No.
Which the whole thing was just covers of Beatles songs.
Oh, it's just
Yeah, no, it was hideous.
Maybe they had one slightly catchy. No. I can't.
Wow. Oh, dangerous waters there. We're going to get hate mail on that one.
I am. Yeah.
The comments of Brad Duence are those
not reflected by
not
the station.
are not those of the SAE or Energy Groove Radio or any of the fine people that they employ or any of their affiliates.
The Beatles were overrated.
Oh. Moving hastily along, this is where I leave you.
I'm not here to make friends either.
Yeah. Clearly. When their father passes away, 4 grown siblings are forced to return to the childhood home and live under the same roof together for a week, along with their oversharing mother and an assortment of spouses, exes, and might-have-beens. You'd think the twist ending is that they'd find out they're all trapped in hell, but no, they're not even that lucky.
God, what is this boring movie week?
I'm afraid it is. It's November. But we'll come to that. We're doing trailer trash next. Okay. Jason Bateman is in it, whose career since his Arrested Development comeback seems to be entirely based on playing the amicable schmuck in a dysfunctional family. Although, come to think of it, it also was before. And also, my name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the inescapable Brad Duence.
It's really going downhill for me.
I said inimitable.
And then you imitated me.
Yes. Okay, so you spotted the flaw in my argument.
Now I'm inescapable?
Well, this is a very small room. It's not like I want to. He's a very nice man, ladies and gentlemen. You should meet him in person. In fact, here's his home phone number. No. Every now and again on the show, we like to take a drive through another world. A world where there are no rules. Welcome to trailer trash.
Sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
Fart was funnier.
I actually enjoyed hearing that because I hate that song.
Oh, good.
So much.
Well, then I'm glad it gave you pleasure. Now, we've managed to survive the September movie season. Now hereafter be known to be known.
Season?
Well, it's the part of the year where there's just nothing on screen.
Right.
Right. It's not summer and it's not.
So it's a barren winter of cinema.
It's not summer and it's not November. So that'll be known as the dead zone from now on. November, however, is almost upon us, which means, of course, that a slew of Oscar-worthies will be soon hitting cinema screens near you and churning the water with a trail of chum that leads straight to the Oscar bait of veteran director Clint Eastwood with American Sniper. Yeah. Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, the most lethal sniper in U.S. history, recounts his military career, which includes more than 150 confirmed kills. And the HuffPo, that's what we call the Huffington Post.
Oh.
The HuffPo reports Warner Brothers have dropped it like it's hot. They've dropped the trailer for Eastwood's latest, which is already generating plenty of Oscar buzz for the 4-time Oscar winner who gave us Space Cowboys, Firefox, and other movies that didn't suck. And here's a little clip.
Hold on, I got a woman and a kid 200 yards out, moving towards the convoy. Her arms aren't swinging, she's carrying something. Yeah, she's got a grenade. She's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid.
You say a woman and a kid?
You got eyes on this? Can you confirm?
Negative. Your call.
They fry you if you're wrong.
So that actually looks quite good.
It's very tense.
I was actually holding my breath there.
Yeah.
I realized I was listening to that and I'm holding my breath. Like, that's better. So yeah, that even the trailer looks fairly promising. Although I have to say that his friend didn't help him much. You know.
Yeah.
They fry you if you mess it up. Thanks for that. Thank you.
Good timing.
I have a small child in my crosshairs carrying a bomb. Thank you for mentioning the fact that I'll... I would have stood up, just punched him in the face. Shoot the kid, then punch the guy in the face. Don't ever talk to me like that while I'm shooting children. Anyway.
So, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Yes, indeed. And Bradley Cooper plays Kyle in the film.
And so is this based on true events, did you say?
I believe so, yes. 150 confirmed kills for the most lethal sniper of all time. Well, in the U.S. military, anyway.
Right.
Bradley Cooper's bulked up. And he's added a Texan accent to himself as the kind of part that could put the 2-time Oscar nominee in line for a third straight nod, which he absolutely won't win, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Also creating the kind of Oscar buzz that Hollywood loves is Foxcatcher, the true story of millionaire eccentric John DuPont and his relationship with Olympic wrestling hopefuls Mark and Dave Schultz, a relationship that leads to murder.
Ooh.
So, why won't the Oscar go to Bradley Cooper? Because Steve Carell is a popular comedian wearing a transformative prosthetic nose in the dramatic role of a real-life millionaire with a serious mental illness and a strong regional accent in a tragic true story. So
he had to do all the acting.
That Best Actor Oscar's in the frickin' bag.
He had to wear an uncomfortable prosthetic. He had to put on an accent.
Fake
He's
nose.
a comedian that actually has to try and put emotion through.
Yeah. Well, comedians are usually make quite good actors because they're usually very serious, pained people. But he's got a fake nose. He's got a heavy accent. He's got mental illness. That's Oscar gold. It's his. It's already. I put my money in it for him.
What sort of relationship is this?
So he was a millionaire who wanted to be a respected wrestling coach. So he put a lot of money into a team, and he became obsessed with these 2 young wrestlers. And it didn't end well.
So it's a really,
it's a tragic true story.
relationship as well.
Yeah. So So yeah, he's already got it. They might as well give it to him now. But also dropping the dragnet into the Academy's murky, stinking water is The Theory of Everything. It's another inspirational true story. Eddie Redmayne plays teenage genius Stephen Hawking, who on the cusp of a transformative academic career falls afoul of an incurable and debilitating condition. But with the help of the unconditional love of an unselfish, self-sacrificing woman, he overcomes his staggering limitations to become the most famous and accomplished writer. That was Oscar winner My Left Foot. I meant mathematician. That was Oscar winner A Beautiful Mind. I meant journalist. That was Oscar winner The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. I meant pianist. That was Oscar winner Shine. Physicist, whose work changed the way we blah 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 blah. And here's a clip.
It's called motor neuron disease. Life expectancy is 2 years.
I want us to be together for as long as we've got.
It'll affect everything.
You don't realize what lies ahead. This is going to be a very heavy defeat.
But I love him. And he loves me. We're going to fight this illness together.
So, this black hole at the beginning of time. Brilliant.
My name is Stephen Hawking.
It's American.
Is that a problem?
Well.
Yes. Don't laugh, it's sad. But it's also inspirational. That film represents the only credible threat to the Best Actor Oscar. And if the 4 virtually identical movies we mentioned before there are anything to go by, it's a definite contender for Best Picture. And judging by the Oscar success of A Beautiful Mind, it doesn't need to be very good.
Yes, the Academy will do what the Academy wants.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's what they live for. You know, we've got mental illnesses, we've got physical illnesses, we've got famous true stories that are tragic and yet inspirational at the same time. It's all happening at the Oscars this year.
Yeah.
Who will win? Who will care? My name's Alister Lockhart, and sitting with me is the astonishing Brad Duence.
There it is.
Astonishing go either way. Like, what is that on your face? That's astonishing.
Kind of like when someone says, "Oh, what a breathtaking baby."
Yeah, that's... Oh, my goodness, that really is quite something, isn't it? Anyway, each week here at Movie Groove, we take a look at the oft-overlooked art of movie music from Hollywood and the unsung heroes who create it in a bit that we call the sound of movies. John Murphy.
So much wrong with that.
John Murphy.
What?
Your name isn't John Murphy. So don't answer to other people's names. I'll get confused, and then I'll have to pick up. Put a different
inflection on that.
Okay, John Murphy. So you
keep going.
It's one word.
I'm sorry.
We're radio professionals, folks.
Clearly.
Anyway, he was born in Liverpool, England. He began composing music for films in the early 1990s and scored his first hit with Leon the Pig Farmer. I still talk about that one. Together with former OMD member David Hughes, not to be confused with the popular Australian comedian, Dave Hughes. You know, Dave Hughes. Dave Hughes. Yeah, he's funny. He worked on several successful British movies, enjoying particular success with the soundtrack to 1998's Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Since 2000's Snatch and Shooters, Murphy has been mainly based in Los Angeles. His successes include City by the Sea and Danny Boyle's box office success 28 Days Later and its sequel, 28 Weeks Later. He also collaborated with Underworld to score Danny Boyle's science fiction film Sunshine. Did you see that one?
I love Sunshine. It's one of my favourite films.
Yeah, I don't like the end. Like the bad guy, the bad guy ends up being a little bit lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, the whole end bit where they're just spinning around on that cube thing is all just a bit strange.
Yeah, but I did like that movie.
It's a great film, though.
And it's one of those, for a lot of people, you get to the end and they go, like, the ending is so disappointing that it wrecks the entire movie for them. Like War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right about War of the Worlds, but I think Sunshine keeps it together.
Because I really love War of the Worlds. I went back to see it again in the cinema.
It's a great film,
because
isn't
it is fantastic. It's just at the end, you're kind of going like, really? Oh,
Yeah.
balls. But
Tim Robbins is so cool.
tell me about it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, he even makes good movies with Tom Cruise. I do love you, Tom Cruise, even though you're a nutbag. He composed the entire score, all of it, not just a bit of it, for Michael Mann's Miami Vice, which wasn't very good. And he did the 2009 remake of the 1972 film The Last House on the Left.
I love that film.
Oh. Ooh.
The remake.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a really good remake.
So who's in it?
That guy from Breaking Bad.
Right.
Aaron, what's his face?
Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets his hand put through a garbage disposal.
Is he one of the bad dudes?
Yes.
Right.
Gets his nose broken and everything.
So it's like it's a revenge thing where bad dudes do bad things to a girl and then the girl gets her own back.
And then the parents get their own back.
Right, the parents get their own back.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking if I Spit on Your Grave.
It's a great film because the girl gets raped and, beaten, and then she...
So not a family film, then?
No, it's definitely not. It's horrid, actually.
Yeah.
It's incredibly traumatic to watch.
Huh.
But it is actually, because it's so traumatic in the beginning, you actually take great joy in the parents getting the revenge on the bad guys.
Excellent.
Well, it's a really good film. Really good film.
I'm going to check that one out. He also scored 2010's Kick-Ass.
That was also a good film.
Not Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass. Based on the comic book of the same name. Other excerpts.
Did you enjoy that, even though Nicolas Cage was in it?
Well, no, I like Nicolas Cage. I liked the movie. It wasn't as freaking awesome as everybody was saying that it was.
Amazing. It's a good film.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
It was good fun.
I didn't like the sweary little girl.
No?
I thought, wow. Do you let your granny watch that film?
Well, that's it. The initial thing that I thought, I was like,
can I watch that film?
Bad-mouthed little
that
girl.
film that you're in there. Can I watch it? Then she comes out, her first line when she appears on screen, and she drops the C-bomb.
Yeah.
Which one of you C-bombs want to play? Like, oh,
look, it certainly got people talking, and people went and saw the cinema, saw the movie.
It had the shock value. Anyway, excerpts from his scores have been released for advertising, in particular In the House from 28 Days Later, and Adagio in D minor from Sunshine has been used in a million different things.
Has it?
Walking Dead, a whole bunch of television adverts, a whole bunch of trailers.
I'll have to go listen to it and see if I recognize it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't think of it.
And so is this next one. This is from the soundtrack, I should say, from 28 Weeks Later. This is John Murphy's In a Heartbeat. Effing in the Bushes is the name of that track. Those sounds are from the Isle of Wight Festival.
Right.
Which was supposed to be like Woodstock 2. All these hippies turned up expecting free love, and there was a big fence around the concert, and they couldn't get in without paying. And they hadn't brought any money, because they spent it all on acid. So, yeah, it was a bit of a schmozzle. They started trying to tear down the fences. And so the clip there at the beginning, you hear the promoter yelling at them, going like, "You bastards. We put this together a lot of heart and a lot of love, and you want to tear down our walls." And then later on, because there's a whole documentary about it, later on he's really drunk and probably high. The same guy gets up on stage. No, it's all right. Let him in. Let him in. It's all right. Let him in. Because Joni Mitchell was crying.
Oh, no.
You're acting like a bunch of tourists, man.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, it didn't go very well. Anyway, Jimi Hendrix's last live performance was 18 days.
What? Sorry?
Jimi Hendrix's last live performance was 18 days before he died.
Didn't that happen recently at a music festival here in Australia or somewhere?
I don't pay attention to the young people
Patrons
these days.
were tearing down fences to get in and stuff like that.
That's fairly de rigueur nowadays. But I think Woodstock was the first big one, and then the Isle of Wight was the second really big one. Woodstock was supposed to be a money-making venture, but the organisers went, "Oh, we can build a stage or a fence." So,
which one are you going to have?
Yeah, it's going to have to be the stage. Damn it.
Movie Groove, 7 to 9 Thursdays on Energy Groove Radio.